You felt it. That ache. The sudden silence after so much connection. The way he pulls away just when things start to feel real. But the angels are clear. He remembers you in the quiet. In the spaces between distractions. When he lies to himself, pretending he doesn't care, heaven whispers your name inside him. He pushes you away not because he wants distance, but because he fears what you awaken. You didn't just arrive, you were sent. A divine interruption. A holy mirror. A reason he can't name but can't erase. There is a sacred reason your souls crossed paths. And it burns in him still. Even when he runs. The angels say, she is the light that confronts his shadows. And he knows it. Your presence stirs in him a storm that years of silence never did. You walk into rooms carrying a peace that terrifies him because it doesn't ask, only sees. He tries to forget, but God doesn't let him. Because this connection isn't something he found. It was something heaven delivered. You came as an answer, not a question. And no matter how much he doubts or retreats, something in him knows, he can't unfeel what he felt near you. There's a reason the timing feels fragile, but the bond feels ancient. There is no fear in love. But perfect love drives out fear. 1 John 4 verse 18. He wasn't taught how to stay. He only learned how to survive. The walls he built weren't to keep you out. They were to keep his own pain in. And now, as your love leans closer, those same walls begin to shake. The angels reveal. He hides behind silence not to hurt you, but to shield himself from the intensity you bring. He's not running from you. He's running from the version of himself he never had to meet, until you came. When you entered his life, you didn't just open a door. You became a mirror. And what he saw scared him. Because no one has ever looked at him the way you do. As if you can see beyond the surface. As if you're not afraid of his broken parts. But love, when it's real, doesn't flatter. It reveals. And now, he's caught between longing and fear. Between the urge to draw close and the instinct to protect himself. The angels are clear, this is not rejection. This is fear disguised as distance. So if he disappears, don't chase him. Just know, he's fighting his own demons. And the echo of your kindness is louder than you realize. This part of the journey requires compassion, not explanation. Your presence is already healing what he thought was beyond repair. He may be in your heart, but you are in the hands of heaven. The angels gently remind you, don't neglect yourself while waiting for someone to find their path. Yes, this connection is sacred, but so is your well-being, your joy, your completeness. Your love is not meant to be poured out until you're empty, the angels whisper. It's meant to overflow from the cup you first fill within. You've carried so much, perhaps more than anyone ever noticed. But now your spirit is being called, not to fix him, but to honor yourself. Every time you held space for him, who held space for you? You are not here to prove your worth through sacrifice. You are not a lesson to be learned. You are a soul to be loved. Even angels rest between battles. So light your candle. Touch your own heart. Let the warmth you give so freely return to you now. Because healing doesn't always come from those we love. Sometimes, it comes from remembering that we are worthy of love, even in silence. He may be searching for himself. But you? You are being called back to yourself. And when he looks again, because he will, may he find you not waiting but shining. There's a reason why he looks away when your eyes linger too long. Why he seems unsettled in your presence. It's not dislike. It's recognition. The angels reveal, you reflect what he has buried. Not the version he shows the world, but the one he avoids when the lights go out. When you walk into the room, it's not just beauty he sees, it's truth. And truth, for someone who has lived behind emotional walls, is confronting. You didn't come to please his wounds. You came to awaken his soul. He feels exposed, seen too clearly. You carry a light that penetrates his carefully kept shadows. And even if he resists it, that light has already begun the work of softening him. He never asked to be mirrored, but his spirit needed it. And yours carries the calm of someone who has made peace with her own reflection. That is what both attracts and frightens him. You are not chaos. You are clarity. And clarity demands change. So when he pulls back or pretends indifference, don't take it personally. The soul often trembles before it transforms. What you stir in him is real. And that, more than anything, is what he's still learning to hold. The angels whisper, your light does not confuse him. It reveals him. It started in silence. In the quiet moments after you left the room. In the stillness where no one was watching, and yet, something shifted inside him. The angels say, he's beginning to see what was always there, but now through a different lens. Yours. This is not about logic anymore. His soul is being stirred. Not by explanations, but by presence. By memory. By the feeling he can't seem to forget, no matter how far he tries to go. You were never loud. You never needed to be. It was the softness of your presence that unsettled his certainty. The grace in how you listened. The peace you carried even in chaos. He's noticing things he never let himself feel before. Noticing how he feels when you speak. How something inside him calms. How his walls weaken. How his longing grows. And even if he doesn't yet know how to name it, he feels it. This sacred unraveling. This awakening that isn't loud, but powerful. The angels reveal, you didn't enter his life to fit into his plans. You entered to expand them. Let him awaken in his own time. Your soul already knows how to wait without losing itself. What is real doesn't need to rush. It only needs to be honored. He comes close, then vanishes. Then close again. And you wonder, what is this rhythm that never settles? What does it mean when love circles instead of landing? The angels say, he's caught in the pull between soul and survival. Each time he nears you, something in him softens. He remembers who he is beyond the noise. He remembers the man he wants to become. But then the fear returns. The fear of losing control. Of not being enough. Of being truly known. So he runs. Not because you're too much, but because your presence makes him feel everything too deeply. And yet, he always returns. Not because he's confused, but because something in him knows, your energy is unlike anything he's ever experienced. It doesn't demand, but it awakens. And awakening is rarely comfortable. The angels whisper, this is not a game. This is a cycle of breaking and becoming. Each departure is him testing the silence, wondering if the pull will fade. It never does. You are not stuck. You are stable. He is the one moving around his own fears. Let him come and go, if he must. But you, stay rooted in your knowing. What is real never needs to chase. He will return when his soul finally surrenders to what his heart already knows. You are not a question. You are the answer. There are places in him untouched by tenderness. Rooms sealed long before you arrived. And yet, without trying, you found your way into them. Not with force. Not with expectation. But with something far more powerful, presence. The angels reveal, your love has not asked him to change. It has simply offered him the space where healing becomes possible. You didn't lecture. You didn't demand. You simply remained, soft, grounded, true. And that, dear soul, is what began the alchemy. His wounds did not vanish. But in your gaze, they stopped screaming. In your silence, they found rest. In your truth, they saw possibility. You became the balm he never knew he needed. The angels say, when she loves, she doesn't fix. She holds. And holding is what heals. Even when he pretended not to notice, his soul did. Your energy slipped through the cracks he thought were hidden. And now he finds himself craving the calm he once resisted. This love, your love, is not loud, but it's relentless and real. So if you wonder whether your presence made a difference, know this: healing doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it shows up as breath where there once was tension. And in his quietest moments, he knows. You didn't come to change him. You came to remind him he could change. You may not see the full map, but heaven does. Every delay, every silence, every aching pause has been watched, measured, held by something greater than your understanding. The angels say, you are not waiting. You are being prepared. There is a timing in love that cannot be forced. What's being woven between you and him is not random, it is sacred. Even the confusion has purpose. Perhaps you've wondered why it hasn't unfolded faster. Why he feels so close, then suddenly far. But divine love does not rush. It aligns. The detours are not denials. They are redirections. And the distance is not absence. It is space being made for the miracle. He is learning to trust. You are learning to surrender. You were not placed in his life to be forgotten. You were placed to remind him of something eternal. Something that speaks beyond words, beyond reason, straight to the soul. The angels are with him, just as they are with you. They whisper truths when fear becomes overwhelming. They soothe doubt when he feels the urge to run. They are preparing both of your hearts for something neither of you could build on your own. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. There's a reason he hesitates when love comes close. A reason his voice catches in his throat, just when he's about to say what matters most. The angels say, he longs to open the door, but he's never felt safe inside it. He has learned to conceal his softness, burying it beneath logic, performance, and distraction. But your presence disarms those defenses. You don't demand his heart, you invite it. And that invitation terrifies him. Not because it's wrong, but because it's real. You see him. Not the image he's tried to project. You see the boy behind the armor, the man beneath the silence. And that kind of seeing feels like exposure. He wants to let you in. He really does. But for someone who has never felt truly accepted, vulnerability feels like standing naked in the cold. He fears you'll turn away if he reveals himself completely. So he retreats. Not out of cruelty, but out of a protective instinct. The angels are near, gently reminding him that love isn't a threat. That the risk of being known is the only way to be truly loved. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11 verse 28. Even his fear is sacred. Even his trembling is part of the unfolding. This is the moment where you stop grasping and start trusting. Where you release the outcome and remember, what is meant for you can never truly be lost. The angels whisper, let go, not in resignation, but in reverence. You have loved with honesty. You have shown up with tenderness. And now, your soul is being asked to rest in the knowledge that you did not imagine this connection. You embodied it. He may still be finding his way, but your path is not on pause. This is where faith takes the lead, where you lean into surrender, not because you gave up, but because you finally understood that divine timing doesn't require control, only trust. You were never here to fix him. You were only meant to love him, to shine the way back to himself, whether he chooses to return or not. Acceptance isn't about letting go of the love. It's about letting go of the fear that it won't come back. What is yours, written in heaven, will find its way, without force, without doubt. And if your soul still aches, let it. Even the ache is sacred. Because sometimes, the most powerful prayer is simply this: whatever is meant for me, I welcome it. In peace. In trust. In truth.